Hello students of class 5. The other day we had already started the chapter The Great Voyages of Discovery, and we had seen what were the reasons for the Great Voyages of Discovery. And in today's class we will focus on the great explorers. Okay. Now, the first explorer was Henry the Navigator, and Henry the Navigator was also known as Prince Henry. Okay, he was Prince Henry of Portugal. Portugal is the small place. Okay, here is Portugal. So what did he think? He thought that he could sail round this northwest coast of Africa and down here, and then he could reach Asia in this way. Now, let us read this. Henry the Navigator. Most of the early voyages were made by Portuguese and Spanish sailors. Portugal is here, and next to it is Spain. Okay, so mainly the sailors were from Portugal or Spain. Prince Henry of Portugal, known as Henry the Navigator, just as I said, was convinced that ships could reach India by sailing around Africa. So here is Portugal, so it starts from here, goes down right here, here, and this way it could reach India. This was the Henry the Navigator or Prince Henry of Portugal believed. Okay, now what did he do? Between 1420 CE is the common era. Between 1420 CE and 1460 CE, Prince Henry sent out ships to explore the northwest coast of Africa. Northwest coast. This is the northwest coast of Africa. Okay, as you can see here, north, south, east and west. So northwest will be this northwest coast of Africa. So he sent out ships there. Northwest coast of Africa. Besides discovering new sea routes and lands, these voyages helped expand trade too. So this voyages that were carried out by Prince Henry Prince Henry of Portugal or Henry the Navigator, it helped to find out new lands. Okay, and not only new lands but also expand trade. Now next explorer we have is Bartholomew I. He was also a Portuguese sailor, like Henry the Navigator. He was also a Portuguese sailor, and he also had the same belief that he could, by traveling around the northwest coast of Africa, he could reach India. So what did he do? He set out with his ships, and he could sail. Now your Henry the Navigator could not go far, but this Bartholomew I, okay, he set out and he went right till the tip of Africa, and he named it the Cape of Good Hope. So he went till the tip of Africa. How was he able to go till this place? He was able to go because when he set out with 3 ships, there were very strong wind and currents. So he followed those winds and currents, and he could sail right till the tip of Africa. Okay, and then when he reached this point, he named it the Cape of Good Hope. Now, if you look into your books also, if you turn to the next page, page 8, you will also find the dotted line which shows the route of Diaz. Okay, Bartholomew Diaz. And after that, he couldn't continue his journey any further because his sailors didn't want to, travel any further. So, okay, let us read this Bartholomew Diaz. Bartholomew Diaz, it was in the year 1487 CE that the Portuguese sailor Bartholomew Diaz succeeded in reaching the southern tip of Africa. This is Africa, the southern tip of Africa. He set out with 3 ships. The ships encountered, very strong winds and currents. That is, the ships encountered in the sense that when the ships went out in the sea, there were strong winds and currents at the sea. So, what did he do? What did Bartholomew Diaz do? He only, sailed in that same direction. And if there is a wind blowing, in the direction that the sailers want to sail at sea, it is it is an advantage for them, because that way they can sail through very easily. That will help them to move faster. If they are sailing in the opposite direction in which the wind is blowing, then it would be very difficult for a sailor to move on. But since Bartholomew Diaz followed the strong winds and currents, he could easily reach the tip of till the tip of Africa, and he named that place Cape of Good Hope. He followed the winds and the currents and sailed right round the southern tip of Africa, which he named Cape of Good Hope. Diaz had to return to Portugal, but he had to, after reaching here, he had to go back to Portugal. Why? Because his men did not want to go any further. Because his sailors refused to go further as they were tired of the journey. While the Portuguese were busy finding a way to India by going around Africa, so they were going around Africa, some Europeans believed that they could go westwards, towards the west. From here towards the west. That is, if we again make this, say this is Spain and Portugal. So this would be the north, this would be south, this would be the east, and this would be the west. So westward. Okay. They wanted to sail westward and reach India and China. That is, they thought that they would go here, sail right round, and this is flat. You have to imagine that the world is round. So take that route of Australia and then the Philippine Islands and then reach India, which it's quite a roundabout way. But okay, where was I? Yes. While the Portuguese were busy finding a way to India by going around Africa, some Europeans believed that they could go westward, and reach India and China. One such European was Christopher Columbus. Now, Christopher Columbus, he was actually an Italian, but he spent most of his time in Spain. This portion is the Spain. So he spent most of his time in Spain, and so the king and queen of Spain helped him to make a voyage. So he set out on a voyage in 1492 CE, and after from Spain, and then he reached these islands. Okay, he from Spain, he set out on his journey and he reached here. Okay, these Bahama Islands. Okay, but let me read it. Christopher Columbus was an Italian sailor who lived in Spain. He wanted to find out a route to India and China in the east by sailing westwards. The king and queen of Spain helped him with ships and money. In 1492 CE, Columbus sailed from Spain. After sailing for 2 months, he reached the Bahama Islands in the Caribbean Sea. Okay, here there are some islands, so he reached here. Okay. If you look into your books also, you will see the same picture. Bahama Islands in the Caribbean Sea. Columbus thought that these islands were part of Asia. So he thought that he had come to Asia. He undertook 3 more voyages and discovered many new islands in the Caribbean Sea and north coast of South America. Now this is North America and this is South America. So in the north coast of South America there are many other islands. Okay, so all these islands he discovered many new islands in the Caribbean Sea and the north coast of South America. These islands he called Indies, thinking that they were East Indies. These islands are now called West Indies. So what he actually found was the West Indies islands, which are here. Now, till his death, Columbus believed that he had found a route to the east. He did not know that he had discovered America, a new continent. So this was a totally unknown place for the Europeans at that time. So Christopher Columbus, the voyage of Christopher Columbus helped people to find out a new continent, or rather Columbus actually found out a new continent called America. But he actually thought that he had reached India, whereas and he thought it was East Indies, whereas it was actually what we call today the West Indies. Okay, we stop here today. We'll do the rest of the chapter in the next class. Thank you, students.